Welcome to the third semester diploma in Electrical and Electronics Engineering. In this course, we will study generation, transmission, and distribution of electrical power. Electricity is an essential part of our daily life. It powers our homes, industries, hospitals, schools, and transportation systems. First, we will learn how electricity is generated in thermal, hydro, nuclear, solar, and wind power plants. Next, we will understand how electrical power is transmitted over long distances, using high-voltage transmission lines. Finally, we will study how electricity is distributed safely through substations and distribution networks to homes and industries. Importance of electrical power generation. Electrical power generation means producing electricity from sources like coal, water, wind, solar, and nuclear energy. Electricity is essential for our daily life. 1. Cleanliness at the point of use. Electricity is a clean form of energy. It does not produce smoke, ash, or pollution where it is used. 2. Higher efficiency. Electrical machines work efficiently. They use less energy and provide better performance. 3. Better controllability. Electricity is easy to control. We can switch it on or off and control machines easily. 4. Easy transmission and distribution. Electricity can be transmitted over long distances through transmission lines and supplied to homes, industries, and villages. 5. Versatility. Electrical energy can be changed into heat, light, mechanical energy, sound, and chemical energy. 6. Wide range of applications. Electricity is used in homes, schools, hospitals, industries, agriculture, communication, and transportation. 7. Indicator of national development. A country with more electricity production and consumption usually has better industries, infrastructure, and economic growth. Conclusion. Electrical power generation is important because it supports modern life, improves living standards, and helps in the overall development of the nation. Sources of energy available in nature. Electricity is generated using different energy sources available in nature. These energy sources are mainly classified into conventional and non-conventional sources. 1. Conventional sources of energy. Conventional sources are traditional sources of energy. They are limited and may get exhausted after continuous use. 2. Thermal energy. Coal. Coal is burned to produce heat. The heat produces steam, which rotates a turbine to generate electricity. Oil. Diesel. Diesel is used in diesel power plants. These plants are mainly used for backup and small power generation. Natural gas. Natural gas is used as fuel in gas turbine power plants. It is cleaner than coal and starts quickly. Nuclear energy. Nuclear power plants use uranium as fuel. Non-conventional sources of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy are renewable sources. They are naturally replenished and cause less pollution. 1. Solar energy. Solar energy is obtained from the sun. Solar panels convert sunlight into electricity. 2. Wind energy. Wind energy uses the movement of wind. Wind turbines convert wind energy into electrical energy. 3. Hydro energy. Hydro energy is produced from flowing or falling water. It is generated in hydroelectric power plants. 4. Biomass energy. Biomass energy is obtained from organic waste such as wood, crop waste, and animal waste. It is used to generate electricity or biogas. 5. Tidal energy. Tidal energy is produced using the rise and fall of sea tides. It is mainly used in coastal areas. 6. Geothermal energy. Session 2. Hydropower plant. Factors to be considered for selection of site. 1. Availability of water. A hydropower plant requires a continuous and sufficient supply of water throughout the year. 2. Head of water. The height from which water falls is called the head. A higher head produces more power. 3. Storage facility. A reservoir or dam stores water and ensures a regular supply for power generation. 4. Geological conditions. The foundation should be strong enough to support the dam and other structures. 5. Accessibility of site. The site should have good road and transport facilities for construction and maintenance. 6. Distance from load center. The power plant should be located close to consumers to reduce transmission losses. 7. Cost of land and construction. The total cost of land, dam construction, and equipment should be economical. 8. Environmental and social considerations. The project should minimize environmental impact and reduce displacement of people. Conclusion. A suitable site helps a hydropower plant generate electricity efficiently, reliably, and economically. Classification of hydroelectric power plants. Hydroelectric power plants are classified based on head of water, plant capacity, load, and construction. A. Based on available head of water 1. Low-head power plant. Low-head power plants use a waterhead of up to 30 meters. 2. Medium-head power plant. Medium-head power plants use a waterhead between 30 and 100 meters. 3. High-head power plant. High-head power plants use a waterhead above 100 meters. B. Based on plant capacity 1. Small hydro plant. Small hydro plants have a capacity of up to 5 megawatts. 2. Medium hydro plant. Medium hydro plants have a capacity between 5 and 100 megawatts. 3. Large hydro plant. Large hydro plants have a capacity above 100 megawatts. C. Based on load 1. Base load plant. Base load plants supply continuous power throughout the day. 2. Peak load plant. Peak load plants supply power during high demand periods. D. Based on construction 1. Run-of-river plant. This plant uses flowing river water with little or no storage. 2. Storage plant. This plant stores water in a reservoir before generating electricity. 3. Pumped storage plant. This plant pumps water to an upper reservoir and reuses it for power generation. Conclusion. Different types of hydroelectric power plants are selected based on water availability, power requirement, and site conditions. Session 3. General layout of hydropower plant and explain its components. Main components in general layout 1. Catchment area 2. Reservoir 3. Dam 4. Spillway 5. Intake structure 6. Trash rack 7. Forebay 8. Penstock 9. Surge tank 10. Powerhouse 11. Turbine 12. Generator alternator 13. Draft tube 14. Tail race 1. Catchment area from which rainwater flows into the reservoir. 2. Reservoir stores water behind the dam. 3. Dam barrier constructed across the river. 4. Spillway safely discharges excess water from the reservoir. 5. Intake structure controls entry of water into the penstock. 6. Trash rack screens placed at the intake prevents entry of debris like leaves, wood, and stones into the penstock. 7. Forebay small storage tank near the intake. 8. Penstock a large diameter pipe carrying water from the forebay to the turbine, designed to withstand high pressure. 9. Surge tank connected to the penstock. 10. Powerhouse building that houses turbine, generator, and auxiliaries. 11. Turbine converts hydraulic energy of water into mechanical energy. 12. Generator, alternator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. 13. Draft tube connected to turbine outlet. 14. Tail race channel that carries water away from the turbine back to the river. Water hammering effect and its prevention. Definition. Water hammer is a sudden rise in pressure in the penstock caused by rapid closure of turbine gates or valves, resulting in shock waves in the water column. Causes of water hammer: sudden closure of turbine inlet gates, sudden load reduction on the turbine, abrupt stopping of water flow in the penstock. Effects of water hammer: excessive pressure in penstock, damage to pipes and joints, vibration and noise, reduced life of penstock and valves. Prevention of water hammering effect 1. Use of surge tank. Absorbs excess pressure, supplies or stores water during sudden load changes. 2. Gradual closing of valves. Prevents sudden stoppage of water flow. 3. Use of relief valves. Releases excess pressure safely. 4. Proper design of penstock. Adequate thickness and strength to withstand pressure surges. 5. Flywheel effect of turbine generator set. Smoothens speed variations during load changes. Session 4. Advantages and disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant. Hydroelectric power plants offer the following advantages. 1. Renewable source of energy. Water is continuously replenished by nature through rainfall. 2. Low operating cost. No fuel cost is involved, hence running cost is very low. 3. High efficiency. Overall efficiency of hydro plants is higher compared to thermal plants. 4. Long life. Hydroelectric plants have a long service life with proper maintenance. 5. Quick starting and stopping. Plant can be started and stopped quickly, making it suitable for peak load operation. 6. Clean and pollution-free at point of generation. No smoke, ash, or harmful gases are produced. 7. Low maintenance cost. 8. Improved load factor of power system. Disadvantages of hydroelectric power plant. The main disadvantages as given. High initial cost. Construction of dam, tunnels, and powerhouse requires heavy capital investment. Long construction period. Several years are required before the plant becomes operational. Dependence on rainfall. Power generation depends on seasonal rainfall and water availability. Large area required. Large land area is submerged for reservoirs. Distance from load center. Usually located far from load centers, increasing transmission cost. Resettlement and rehabilitation problems. People living in submerged areas have to be relocated. Risk of dam failure. Failure of dam may cause heavy loss of life and property. Environmental impact of hydroelectric power plants. Positive environmental impacts. Reduction in air pollution. No emission of carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, or smoke during operation. Use of renewable energy. Conserves fossil fuels and reduces greenhouse gas emissions. Flood control. Reservoirs help control floods during heavy rainfall. Water supply and irrigation. Stored water can be used for irrigation and drinking purposes. Negative environmental impacts. Submergence of forest and agricultural land. Large areas are flooded for reservoir construction. Loss of biodiversity. Natural habitats of plants and animals are disturbed. Displacement of population. Villages and towns may need to be relocated. Change in river ecology. Natural flow of river is altered, affecting aquatic life. Sedimentation problems. Silt deposition in reservoir reduces storage capacity over time. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this session helped you understand the basics of generation, transmission, and distribution. In the next video, we will continue with Week 2 and learn more advanced concepts. You can also watch my videos on the switchgear and protection subject for better understanding. If you found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.